What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. And this is probably like an emergency episode because one of the biggest trades ever in NFL history has just gone down today, including Seattle Seahawks, or I guess former Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. He is now on the Denver Broncos. The full trade details here. Denver will be getting Russell Wilson and a fourth-round pick. The Seahawks are getting Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a fifth-round pick. This is going to be a huge loss for the Washington Commanders because Russell Wilson was at the top of their quarterback market, and he is now gone. He is now part of the Denver Broncos, which, props to the Broncos. They're now, I would say, definitely playoff contenders and definitely will make the playoffs with Russell Wilson. They've got pretty much everything in place, just needed a quarterback, and as long as they build up their offensive line in the draft, I think they're going to be really good next year. But going back to the Commanders, this is just a crusher if you're a Washington fan. I've been wanting Russell Wilson on the Commanders ever since the rumor started going around that he wants out of Seattle. I know a lot of other people that have been wanting it, and I'm actually going to tell you how close Washington actually got, because Washington got pretty close to trading for Russell Wilson, but things did just not work out. So here are from reports from different Washington Commanders reporters. Washington did actually make a stronger offer for Russell Wilson. This included 3 first-round picks plus of some players as well. We don't know the specifics on the exact players, but we do know that it did include some players. We look at comparing the two offers. Seattle, they gave up 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and a fifth-round pick, while Washington would give up 3 first. Now, you could say here these are kind of a little bit even. 3 firsts or 2 firsts and 2 seconds. But I would choose the 3 first because that would be 3 firsts for the next 3 years. You can package some of those into another big deal if you want. I definitely think the 3 firsts are more than 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Looking at the players, we do know, like I said, that we wouldn't know the players for Washington if it got traded, because if that got leaked, then there would be a bunch of stuff going on in pretty much the front office and in the locker room and stuff, being like who's going to trust who and who can trust who if players are getting rumored to be traded left and right. Denver, on the other hand, you could say they technically put up 3 starters in that deal. Drew Lock, you could make like maybe he's a backup, but he ended the year as a starter for the Denver Broncos. So that's maybe probably not, but maybe your future quarterback if you're the Seahawks. Noah Fant, a very underrated, definitely top 10 tight end. And Shelby Harris is also a very underrated defensive lineman. I think those 3 players, Fant and Harris in general, those are 2 very underrated players that will definitely make an impact in Seattle. And for Washington, if they did offer players, which I'm pretty sure they did, is probably going to be someone on the defensive line, whether it be Daron Payne or Chase Young or Montez Sweat. I think it would be Daron Payne, and Daron Payne would be the one that I would give up. Ultimately, I believe it did come down to Russell Wilson coming, and it was partly Russell Wilson, partly the front office. Russell Wilson chose to go to Denver over Washington, which was a very interesting choice. I've also seen reports that Seattle did not want Russ to stay in the NFC in case they became a contender, which, you got Fant and then you got Harris, but who's gonna throw the ball to Fant? Like, you got Drew Lock. Drew Lock is not going to be your starter. You're going to have to choose a quarterback, which is another reason why I'll get to later, why this is a very, very big crusher for Washington. Seattle did decide to trade him to the AFC, which now the AFC West at quarterback is by far the best division right now. And I'll say best quarterback in the division for pretty much if you take all the quarterbacks from each division, put them all together. The AFC West has definitely the best with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson now, and Derek Carr. Those are 4 of the best. I would say 4 top 15 quarterbacks right now in the NFL. That division right now is very stacked. And I was saying how Seattle needing a quarterback would definitely affect Washington. Well, now they got the 9th pick in the draft, and Washington has the 11th. So with the 9th pick, they're still looking at a quarterback. Yeah, you could say the Broncos were also looking at a quarterback. But I do think the Seahawks are going to need a quarterback more now than what the Broncos did. Well, so what's next for Washington at the quarterback position? Well, it's pretty much Deshaun Watson time if you want to go for a veteran, because he's really our only hope. And 24 hours ago, Rodgers was set to make an announcement today, which he did, signing a big long-term deal with the Green Bay Packers, and of course Devontae Adams getting franchise tagged as well. And now here's Russell Wilson getting traded to the Broncos. 24 hours ago, I wasn't even thinking a Broncos-Russell Wilson trade would be possible, but here we are. On terms of the Watson court case and everything, he will have his case presented to a grand jury on Friday, which is pretty big because that's going to be before free agency, and it's going to be if we can trade for him before free agency, which is going to be a little bit tough depending on the outcome of the grand jury's decision. It's going to be a little bit tough, but if we can trade for him before free agency, that would definitely be better than trading him after free agency has started, or a few weeks after free agency has started, when most of the big names have already chosen where they're going to go. A little kind of questionable, eerie thing about this Watson case is that Deshaun Watson's attorney has told him to plead the fifth on Friday during his case, which is not that good. And it does not show good signs for the Watson case, because if he does plead the fifth and all of the people against him will say their stuff, the jury will most likely choose against Watson. And so there goes our hope at getting Deshaun Watson. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. This one was a little bit of a shorter one because I just want to get something out there about Russell Wilson and my thoughts on the trade and everything and what I think we should do next. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.